Alright, let's talk about Gwyneth Paltrow. You probably know her as the Oscar-winning actress, the face behind Goop, or maybe just as the woman who made conscious uncoupling a thing. But there's a lot more to her story, and trust me, some of it will surprise you, because in her biography Gwyneth opens up like never before, and the stuff she shares, it's raw, honest, kind of wild and super relatable in ways you might not expect. I mean, we're talking about sharks, secret smoking habits, cringy teen kisses, and even a nude photo incident involving her dad. Yeah, that happened. But we'll get to that. Now, I know how easy it is to look at someone like Gwyneth and think, she's got it all. Money, fame, success, beauty, a wellness empire. But if you've ever had moments where you felt unseen, insecure, or like you're just pretending to have it together, this video is for you. Because beneath the glam, Gwyneth's life has been full of things we all go through, and hearing it from her, honestly, it's kind of comforting. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's go through 10 of the biggest, most unexpected, and oddly relatable revelations from Gwyneth Paltrow's biography. And trust me, the more we go through these, the more you'll start to see her in a totally new light. Let's start with one that sounds straight out of an action movie. She swam with sharks. Yeah, not metaphorical sharks. Real ones. She was filming in the Maldives, and instead of saying, "No thanks, I like all my limbs," she literally jumped into shark-infested waters. Not because she had to. She did it to face her fears. Like, imagine waking up one morning and thinking, you know what I should do today? Confront death in the form of a giant fish. But hey, she said it helped her grow. That's gutsy. It's also a reminder that facing your fears doesn't have to be all poetic and peaceful. Sometimes, it's about swimming with actual sharks. Now, you might think Gwyneth has always this super clean, organic green juice lifestyle. But nope, in her 20s, she smoked, like, cigarettes. Regularly. She kept it hidden because, well, she knew it didn't fit the polished image. She picked it up while filming abroad, and it became this little secret, one she wasn't exactly proud of. But the way she talks about it in the book, it's so honest. Because haven't we all had habits or moments we'd rather forget? And hearing her admit that just makes her feel human. Her first kiss. Oh, it was awkward. And honestly, kind of hilarious. It was with Robert Sean Leonard. You know, the guy from the show House. Sounds romantic, right? Except she says it was just terrible. No fireworks. No butterflies. Just one of those clunky teen moments you remember forever, and wish you could erase. Which is kind of nice to hear. Because we've all had those memories that haunt us, even if we've gone on to do big things. Gwyneth included. Now here's something that might really hit home. Even though Gwyneth grew up in a famous family, her mom's an actress, her dad was a big-time director, she didn't feel seen. Not really. She talks about how, despite being surrounded by success, she often felt invisible. Like she had to try twice as hard just to be noticed. And if you've ever felt like the background character in your own story, yeah, this one's going to sting a bit. It's easy to assume that people with families just have it made. But Gwyneth, she's proof that even in the spotlight, you can still feel like no one's really looking. Okay, ready for the most awkward family moment ever. Once she took a nude photo, just for herself. She was on vacation, feeling confident, feeling free. She left the camera unattended, and guess who developed the film? Her dad. Yeah, that silence you're hearing in your head right now. That's exactly what happened in real life. No screaming, no lecture, just dead silence, forever. And honestly, isn't that worse? I mean, we've all accidentally sent the wrong text or posted something a little too real online. But this is next level awkward. And here's something that might surprise you. Even after winning an Oscar, Gwyneth felt like a fraud. Like she didn't really deserve it. She said she walked off the stage with that golden statue in her hand and still thought, I'm not good enough. That feeling, it's called imposter syndrome, and it's so real. Maybe you've felt it at work or school, or even in your personal life. You do something amazing, and instead of celebrating, you think it must have been a fluke. If someone like Gwyneth, with all her success, still battles those thoughts, maybe it's not just you. Maybe it's something we all deal with. Oh, and get this. There was a time Gwyneth didn't know who Beyoncé was. I'm not kidding. She was at a party, Beyoncé walked in, and Gwyneth had no clue. Meanwhile, her daughter Apple was probably dying inside. Mom, how do you not recognize Beyoncé? It's one of those moments where you realize that even celebrities live under rocks sometimes. And if you've ever been the person who's late to every trend or pop culture reference, don't worry, Gwyneth's been there too. Now, let's talk about fame. You'd think it's all red carpets, fancy parties, right? But for Gwyneth, fame has been a real love-hate thing. Sure, it opened doors. But it also brought endless criticism. Paparazzi outside her home, people judging her parenting, every move under a microscope. It got so overwhelming at one point that she considered quitting acting altogether, just walking away from the whole thing. And honestly, can you blame her? Sometimes the spotlight can be more of a prison than a platform. But then something shifted. After she turned 40, she had what she calls a spiritual awakening. And no, it wasn't because of a fancy retreat or a magic potion. She was alone in Italy, no distractions, no makeup, just her journal and a whole lot of pasta. And in that quiet space, she started to see things differently. She thought about what really mattered, what she actually wanted. And that's when the idea for Goop came into focus. It wasn't about trends or fame. It was about helping people feel good in their skin, just like she was finally starting to. And you might think that after all that, after the awards, the businesses, the big moments, she'd have it all figured out. But here's the most refreshing part of her story. She doesn't. Gwyneth admits she's still learning, still messing up, still healing. She says there's no point where you just arrive, and everything makes sense. And honestly, isn't that kind of a relief? That someone with her resume, her life experience, still wakes up some days and wonders, what am I doing? It's real. And it reminds us that growing up doesn't mean having it all together. It just means you're still showing up, still trying, still evolving. So what can we take from all of this? First, perfection is a myth. Even the people we put on pedestals have struggles, secrets, and regrets. Gwyneth Paltrow has lived a big, beautiful, complicated life. And she's finally letting us see it for what it really is. Second, you don't have to be locked into one version of yourself. Gwyneth reinvented herself multiple times. From actress to wellness guru. From Hollywood star to businesswoman. From someone who felt invisible to someone who built an empire. If she can pivot, so can you. And maybe most importantly, embrace your weird. Seriously, Gwyneth leans into her quirks. Crystals, bee sting facials. Detoxes that raise eyebrows. She doesn't care. She owns it. And maybe that's the real secret. Don't hide the things that make you different. Lean into them, because those are the things that make you you. So now I'm curious, what was the one thing in her story that really got you? The shark diving, the smoking secret, the Beyoncé moment? Or was it the whole dad and the nude photo situation that made your jaw drop? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what stuck with you the most. And hey, if you're into these kinds of stories, real people, real revelations, the stuff behind the fame, go check out my other video on celebs who quietly stepped away from Hollywood. It's eye-opening, and it might just change how you see fame altogether. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, leave a comment, and maybe hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps more than you know, and it lets me keep making more content just like this for you. Thanks for hanging out today. Remember, nobody's got it all figured out, not even Gwyneth. And that's totally okay. See you in the next one.